Hi everybody, we have a 2008 BMW X5 with a parking brake problem. The car came for something else, but for some reason after fixing the main problem, the parking brake wouldn't work anymore and it'll just blink the yellow light here on the dashboard. And we tried resetting with a scanner, then we tried the reset procedure on the button here, 5 seconds down, 1 second hold, and 5 seconds up. None of this worked, so we proceeded to actually dismount the actuator. In order to do that, it's a kind of a crazy job. So the first thing you have to do is this cable here. This is the emergency release of the parking cable. It has these two tabs on the side, so I need to use a pair of pliers in order to squeeze the tabs. Okay. So you squeeze the tabs and you need to push the cable down through the hole. That same cable actually you can pull with this side of this handle if there's a problem with this parking brake, to release it manually, and we tried that but it didn't work. So the client approved replacing the actuator. And this is the other crazy thing. So I watched some videos on YouTube to kind of get a perception of what's going on here. Basically it's this box here. The actuator is this, and it sits here on a plate right under here. You have to take the 3 bolts here. These 3 bolts, they go through these holes. The bolts are these. They're 10 millimeter bolts, and you have 13 millimeter on the side bolted to the subframe of the vehicle. And in my case, this was locked up completely. This is the emergency cable here that's coming all the way from the quarter panel inside here. So it's already released and I need to pull it down because we're gonna change this. The issue was this wouldn't release. I tried to put power to the motor. The motor is shorted. Something happened. I guess it burned because I had a short coming back. So this was all locked up, and it's a crazy mechanism. I thought that I'm gonna have to destroy everything and probably get the cables replaced also with the units, the parking cables here. That's the parking cable. I managed to release this, okay, and I couldn't see what's going on here because it was behind this plastic. But there's a piece here that this piece was sitting here. This piece was sitting here and it wouldn't release. I think this was locked all the way here. I think it goes all the way here. Yeah, just like this. So this thing unlocked and released the cable, and I could not see this part. I kind of wiggled it a little bit, until I could see it, because I saw in another video that there's that the cable actually attaches to this like slide by slide, and basically this is the slide here. So it was attached like this, like a little slide, and then this clip actually goes over it. So I managed to pull the clip and I managed to wiggle this out, so it came off, and this is how you get it off. Anyway, you're replacing this, so you don't need to save none of this. The other situation now is the driver's side is completely different. This wouldn't come out. It has this plate, and we can see it has a thread. From what I can see, the thread is actually backwards, so it means that clockwise is when you untie it. So since I released this cable, it would be much easier to, now I need to pull the cable because I need this cable to be freely moving. The reason is this cable, the way it's set up here, I'm gonna have to turn this. I'm gonna have to turn it clockwise in order to separate it from the system. I guess when you get the new one, you're gonna have to do this. If it's a used one, I think the new ones come with the cable, so it's gonna be a more complicated situation. But with the used one, this would have to be done. So you have to disassemble this cap before you actually install it. You can actually disassemble this cap. I did it while this thing was here, and I took the bolts out. This box installed and actually sits like this with the bolts down. It's not like this, just keep this in mind. But these bolts, they're T20 if I'm not mistaken. They're these tiny screws. You can actually take them off, and you can install them back on the car. So in this case, I'm going to continue. Actually, it looks like it's going back, so I guess it's not clockwise. I guess it's counterclockwise. Okay, yes, it's counterclockwise. So I need to turn it counterclockwise, and this plate, you can see the metal plate, it's sitting up there. So I'm gonna unscrew it all the way down until this is released out of this mechanism. Okay, so now it's released. This is where it goes in. Then it goes in here. Anyway, this is what it is. So I'm waiting on the new one so we can install it again. Okay, the used part came. I'm going to disassemble the cables so I can try to install it again. I think I forgot to tell you that these have to actually be taken out first. If you cannot move it by hand, this nut here is, I tried it with 27mm and it worked, just in case it doesn't work with you, but you have this space here. Okay, this is the new unit or new use unit. This cover kind of comes out with a resistance because it has silicone glued to the cap, so you're probably going to need to silicone this when you put it back. But I believe this is the easiest ways to change this, instead of trying to use the cables and disassemble the whole hub unit. And as we can see here, the screw is already here, so I'm probably gonna take a measurement of this, how far this thing goes into this piece, because that's how much you have to screw it in. And then it looks like this is loose, so most likely this is the way it's supposed to be. And when this goes here, it probably locks it in when it goes inside this hole and it pulls it in, so it gets locked. But anyway, let me take this first out, and then I'm gonna take this second out. So this is where it's supposed to be, about this bolt here. This is fully installed in the hole. It stops. When it stops, this is where the measurement is going to be. So it's about the middle of the bolt actually. Okay, so in this case, remember, it's counterclockwise to take it out. Well, since it was a long way to do it, I'm just gonna skip this with the video. Actually, no. It is clockwise to take it out. Yep. Yeah, this is clockwise. Yes, clockwise to take it out. Again, confirm. Okay, it's out. Now we have to proceed. You have to be careful because there's a cable here to this thing, this flat cable here. I think we may be able to get it out once I release the cap here. Okay, this is how it comes out actually. Okay, it's pretty easy. Now you have to move the we have to move the plastic cap here. To expose the metal parts. Okay, and this comes out. Remember the slide that I was showing you. So this is the second cable, and now we just have to release this broken plug. There we go. Everything is fine. I will clean a little bit this plug. Okay, this is the emergency cable. We may have to, well, yes, I'll have to reroute this cable first and then the box, and I will install this part first with the screw. But I need my two hands to install the override cable, so give me a second, I'll be back. So I was going to install this cable, but I need it to be loose still because I need to spin this box all the way into this thread. The box spins clockwise because this is a counterclockwise thread, so you have to hold this upper part here, the square piece, you have to hold it, and then you have to screw. You have to spin the box clockwise. Remember, you spin it and then you check how far you're in by pushing this all the way down to the bolt. So this whole distance this actually has to stop all the way into the middle of this bolt. Okay, I managed to screw this back in. There's the square. There's a square inside of that cable, which is this. This square has to go in the plastic here in order to lock like this. The distance is, when it locks up here, it actually locks up about here. That's how you measure the distance. So I put it in. We have the distance already here. It's the middle of the bolt, and that metal piece here sticking, it's right, matches the bolt. And I put the cap, screw the cap. I'm not gonna tie it because I need to maneuver this. So the next thing is I need to put this box in that space and connect the passenger cable. Okay, since this is so tight, the cables actually are really tight when they're installed in the car. You're gonna have to turn this with the hollow point toward your side so you can slide this in, but I'm gonna have to lift the box all the way up, and you may have to do it with your fingers because there is no way to look at it when you're installing it. Okay, so I managed to install it, and then once you install it, don't forget that you have to lock this plastic cap all the way into the left. In that case, you won't see the metal piece. It's locked all the way to the left and you don't see the metal piece. Also, don't forget this track, the electrical track. It goes in a very specific way here because this is gonna move and it may even jump out of your way. Once you put it in, you need to close the thread here and lock it with the cap, and then it will be ready so we can close the external cap. I'm gonna have to put silicone on the external cap too. Okay, I made a little mistake, but I managed to clean it. You have to clean the silicone off the edges of the box here. Yes, I'm cleaning the box now, or the cap to the box, because it has this fat silicone. Because before closing, when I have to put silicone in here on the cap before closing it to seal it. Okay, the box is ready. We need to make sure this cable is properly secured, and you need to clean first the old silicone here at the edges, and then I put new silicone. And what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna install it. I'm gonna install it on the box, but I'll be back in a second because I need my two hands. Okay, I managed to screw the bolts. Again, the cap is silicone and sealed, and now this box needs to be twisted 90 degrees because it sits like this. And next step would be to tie these external caps. The external caps here. This plug would be the last thing. I'm gonna try to also install the emergency override cable. So I managed to tie these caps. They were a little bit of a problem, but I had to put a little bit of grease, like a foam grease inside, because it's a plastic thread, but I managed to get them tied. You need to make sure that the inside plastic ending is actually all the way inside, because there's a seal. Once it goes in, then this cap will start going easy. So, and remember, you have to twist it 90 degrees. This is how it looks like where it's supposed to be. And it has a bracket, the 10mm bolts here, and then the 30mm bolts here. I have not installed, I only put this cable here, the emergency override. I need to go inside the car and see how or where the cable is. But I'm gonna tie the bolts next, and I'm gonna connect the plug. Okay, we have the cable here, but there is a little bit of a situation. Of course, I decided to go through the quarter panel and see where the cable is, and the cable pretty much goes right here, and that black little plastic, like a rivet or holder, whatever. So that cable just need to go in there. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to fish it through this hole, because this bolt here wouldn't come out, so I kind of bent the exhaust shield a little bit. You can bend it back, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna try to fish it from underneath, because once it's in, you push it up and it's gonna clip. It'll clip once you fish it in. So that's the last thing that's left on this job. Okay, sorry for misguiding you, but that plastic actually is not where this goes, because I try to get it in. It's a cap actually. So the actual hole is behind this subframe here, all the way up. I found it with a mirror. So the only way I see here is I'm gonna have to put my hand through this hole with the cable to get it to that proper place, or I could use a fishing hook from up top, but I think I'm just gonna do it from underneath. Okay, I leveled the car actually all the way down to my shoulder, and I managed to get my right hand in here, fish the cable to the hole, and I installed this bolt. I took it off, but the other one wouldn't come out. So anyway, the cable, make sure that the cable fits in the clips right here. This everything is just a last check. The bolts are tight, the plug is back, this is tight. Okay, now we're gonna level the car and check the cable in the back. Okay, we're going to check the cable. Okay, the cable is in the hole, so let me see. Yep, it's actually clipped in, but I'm just gonna test it. You grab the hammer, you grab the handle like this, and you can pull it like this. This is the emergency override or manual override. Make sure the two teeth are pressed in the body. Yes, I can feel the two of them are pressed in. This is it on this side. Now I'm gonna test the parking brake inside the car. Okay, we don't have the blue light anymore. And let me see if this is going to work. Okay, there's a light. Let's try to do this procedure. Which I believe it has to be on the first lights, the first stage. Okay, and I think it was down 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release for 1 second and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Start the car. Okay, this means that the parking brake is on. Okay, well, it is working. That's all we needed to see. If I pull it up, it's activating. I pull it down, it deactivates it. So this is it, job done. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.